Hello everybody, and welcome to a new series, getting back into some Quest for Glory, and we're starting the third game now, which is arguably the worst one in the series, sadly.
What?
Yeah, Quest for Glory 3, it's not that good, at least not compared to the other ones.
How does that compare to 5?
I still have to play 5, but from what little I've played of 5, I've been enjoying it at least a bit more than 3. So,
what rubbed you the wrong way with 3? Was it the furry plot?
no, it's the fact that it takes place in Africa. No. The reason for it is because this is very much a game where if you have the meta knowledge of why this game exists, it starts to show why... It becomes more clear why this one feels like a bit more of a black sheep compared to the other ones. And that's mostly because this game was not necessarily supposed to have been made. So, initially after 2, if you remember, they kept advertising that the next game was going to be Shadows of Darkness. And they decided to push that one as the 4th game instead, because I guess they felt that 4 was going to be too hard, so they wanted a buffer game in between to make things a bit easier. And so they rushed this one out in like less than a year. So, the game itself is very, very glitchy, to the point where it's one of the few times where I've actually installed a fan mod to make it more playable. And there's a lot of things where, depending on what class you play, you kind of fuck yourself. So, the big one being that if you decide to play as a thief, for example, there is no Thieves Guild. There's literally nothing for you to lockpick, pickpocket, or anything like that. There's like one instance in the entire game where you actually have to do thieving, and it's part of the main quest. So
no more drawing ridges in your brain.
So, yeah, that's the other big thing. There's no more nose picking.
I can see how that would be pretty heartbreaking to you.
Indeed. But also the other thing is that there's no real side quests to really get done. There's no Adventurers Guild. Like, there's a lot that's missing or kind of off about this game. So that's essentially why. This is sort of like a game that wasn't really that great compared to the other ones, but still, it's a hell of a lot better than most other RPGs that come out, especially in recent years. Which is sad.
And what is an RPG, really? That seems to be a legitimate question the industry cannot answer nowadays.
Well, obviously an RPG is you watch a number go up and up. So, essentially, a Skinner box is the greatest RPG ever made.
And then you have a sex scene with a woman who looks like a man.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're unlucky, you get a man.
You get
into an yeah, you get an unskippable cutscene with a dude. Come on, boy, spread them cheeks. But here's the really important question. In this game, do we have juicy brown women?
To appease you, yes.
All is good. Something to balance the excess of furries.
I don't know. Would you find these I guess this is one of those questions I'm going to have to ask someone from the furry community, but do these lion tars, are they sexy to you?
You ask them the question right before telling them to face the wall.
Yeah, basically.
Now look at this wall. We're gonna project a movie there. Yes.
It'll be the Lion King. Yeah, so, and also something they've introduced into this one is that if you click the talk icon on yourself, you can actually express specific things that you would be interested in as a player, rather than just click on the character and ask them questions.
Okay.
The problem is that this is a mechanic they just introduced, so when I first played this game, I had no idea how to get through certain aspects of the game. Because you specifically have to do that in order to get through. So that might have been one of the reasons why I felt the game was glitchy and I couldn't get through it, but it might have just been that. But even with even if that wasn't the case, like this game still has some pretty major glitches in it. I'll point them out if I remember where they pop up, but yeah, this game definitely needed a lot more time to be finished programming.
Council of Judgment decides to send a peace mission.
Yeah,
Rakeshi, Rishaka.
Yeah, so long story short, basically there are two tribes in the sort of jungles that are at war with each other. One of them is the tribe that Uhura is from, and the other one is the Leopardman tribe. And apparently they're claiming that the other one stole their sacred relic. And so as part of the peace mission, the Lion Tars sent some people, they went missing. And that's the plot. We have to figure out what's going on.
Those filthy Amazons stole our people's most precious treasure.
No, not
the special
Amazons.
The special edition DVD of Robin Hood.
No, it was the Coke bottle that fell from the sky. Come on, you should know this.
But I think the Lions here would be the special edition of Robin Hood. Disney's Robin Hood.
No, the Lion Tars have nothing to do with this conflict. They just want to be like sort of the they're basically Sweden in this case.
They're basically Sweden.
Or the Swiss or whatever. They want to be the neutral party.
Okay. Swiss. Switzerland, you
That's
mean?
it. It's one of those middle countries that start with an S.
Wow, this song is getting old fast. Generic Arabian sounding music.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
And...
Have you ever seen an anime called Big O?
Big O? No.
Yes.
Okay, and here's my proof that I'm playing the fan remake. Was the version is 1.3.1a. The A stands for the guy who created it.
Okay.
Anyway, time to waddle. Yeah, so anyway, you were talking about an anime?
Yes, a Big O is an... I tried watching last year. I didn't like it very much.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. There was this the anime is pretty much anime Batman.
Batman.
But with,
okay.
Yeah, but with giant robots. So
yeah, because nothing screams stealth like a giant robot kicking down a building.
Yeah, no, I'm talking like it's Batman in style, specifically because the animation style is very much like Batman the animated series, and there is but the movie is also no, not the movie. Wow, we got Carl Weathers.
Yep.
Nice.
This is the comedian reference that they threw in for this game. The first one was.
So it's supposed to be Vincent Price.
Yeah. So the second one, in the second game, it was Groucho Marx, and in the first one, it was. I'm trying to remember. I'm drawing a complete blank right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Three Stooges. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, but I'm more used to the I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen anything with Vincent Price in it. So like I saw that face and I thought it was Carl Weathers.
No, I forget the actor's name, but it's the one where it was the sitcom from the 70s where the old man kept calling his son a dummy.
That's not narrowing it down anyway.
Oh, fine, whatever.
Yeah, but the guy with the mustache there, he looks a lot like Vincent Price. I think he's the guy from, was it Rooster's Millions?
Yeah, again, I can't remember the name of the show or the actors' names from that show, but I've seen clips of it, and the old man or the dad would always call everybody a dummy.
Wait, was it Vincent Price?
I will say that when it comes to this bazaar here, excuse me, it does kind of ruin the idea of what items you need to buy versus ones you don't need to buy, because if an item that you need to buy, if after you buy it, it makes the little ding noise that you've gotten points, that means you have to use it at some point. So it kind of ruins the surprise of like needing things.
No, it's Richard Pryor.
Okay.
I don't know why I thought he was called. I don't know why I thought he was called Vincent Price. Yeah, Richard Pryor. He was a comedian and he was in. Let me see.
All right.
He was in Superman 3.
Yeah, there was a scene of him saying how great Superman was, and he was telling it to his kids, and he wore like a blanket as a cape and was running around the room.
Yeah,
it was very embarrassing.
Yeah. Brewster's Millions. Wow. There's a guy in the trailer that just looks like Don Ramon. Oh, I think it's Burgess Meredith. But he was using a tiny hat that looked like Don Ramon from El Chavo. I'm probably just going over your head right now, right?
Probably. I'm paying more attention to the game right now, anyway.
Yeah. Have I ever shown you like this? There is this Mexican series called El Chavo del Ocho, and it's very popular in South America. Very popular. And one of the most popular characters was a guy called Don Ramon.
Okay.
It's like one of those, those characters is just kind of like not so much as like a trickster, a scoundrel. He's the guy that is perpetually unemployed and just getting by in life. And he uses it like a very like a small a small hat that gets that is very flimsy, and it looks like the hat from Burgess Meredith. I think it's Burgess Meredith. I don't know.
This guy you're talking about, is that the character with the blue hat?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing that I really know about that is that you showed me that clip where he shoves his landlord into a cupboard to hide him, and then the cupboard gets fucked around the entire episode.
Yeah. I think that's the one of 2 episodes where he actually pays the rent.
Hmm.
Because like there was the running joke, he was always trying to avoid paying rent to his landlord. But there are 2 episodes where he actually pays. Double check. I'm just checking if Burgess Meredith was in the movie. Apparently not. Wow, Rick Moranis was in Brewster's Millions.
Uh-oh. We came into the presence of a temple, and they're angry that we're in here because we're a human. Yeah, I'm completely lost because I don't actually. Yeah, because I don't even know what is he talking about there. Basically, long story short, the statue who is to represent a god spoke and said that we will be bringing weal or woe to this land, and to get a proper judgment, we need the Gem of a Guardian, and we can get that from the World Tree, which is actually like a day's travel away from this town.
You're just bringing strife to our land, colonizer. Please leave.
Yeah.
This is a peaceful land. We live in harmony, killing each other when it's time for the ritual sacrifices. Don't disturb our peace.
Anyway, so what we need to do is, like in the last game, we need to exchange our money for local currency.
Yes, sir. I will trade your silver and gold coin for this bits of cacao seed. It's our local currency, yes. Don't question me.
So we have our 200 dinars, even though we had like 1 million in the last game. And we exchanged our 200 dinars for, I believe, 180 of the local currency. I forget what it's called. Oh, a royal. That's it. And the brass is a common.
Is worth commons.
Basically, 100 commons to a royal, and a royal is roughly equal to a dinar in Shapir.
Okay. So, like, you just said, like, it's the commons is made of brass?
Yeah. So, basically, it's like a penny.
Is brass, like, a particularly cheap metal?
Cheap enough. Although I do know that I did a few metal runs with my dad, and the guy there said we should be taking the time to separate the brass and copper from the rest of the metal, even though we were just doing a bunch of bulk shit. And he said to take the time because the amount of brass that we threw away into the random junk pile was roughly about $100 worth. So it was like, oops. But long story short, yeah, apparently Bratz goes for like $3 a pound or something like that. If you at least around here anyway.
$3 a pound.
Yeah, something like that. Whereas most scrap metal goes for like some odd cents. Oh, they did change around how the bargaining system works in this game. So instead of just saying, I want a bargain, and they give you a bargain, you have to actually manually type in... You have to hit the bargain button and then choose the price that you want to bargain at. And if it's good, they'll say yes. And if it says no, they'll tell you, no, it's not good, and then give you the bargain price that you should have inputted.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually looking at a site that gives the price of metals, and it doesn't have brass included. Huh. So that's odd.
They well, have, I guess because it's not a direct metal; it's a compound metal, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
But yeah, for those of you who want to make a an idea of what you can usually get away with in terms of like what you can bargain for, roughly it's like 10%. You can knock it down by that much.
Okay, brass is a copper and zinc alloy. In proportions which can be varied to achieve different colors in mechanical, electrical, acoustic, and chemical properties. But copper typically has a larger proportion, generally 2/3 copper and 1/3 zinc. And in use since prehistoric times, is the substitutional alloy. Atoms of the two constituents may replace each other within the same crystal structure. Brass is similar to bronze, a copper alloy that contains tin. I think you can go for as little as like like 10% tin, which is convenient because tin is significantly more rare than bronze, which is the reason why bronze was such a important material back in the Bronze Age. It's because it is actually quite difficult, especially with technology of the time, because there were very few known tin mines in the world. I think most of the Bronze Age civilizations.
Oh, hold on. They make a very interesting thing here. The tinderbox that we bought was used by Caesar when he, I forgot what he said that he crossed to, get
the Rubicon?
to... Yeah, it's like, okay. So we have undeniable proof that the Quest of Glory series takes place in the real world.
Which begs the question, when were the furries exterminated? Unless Caesar is one of those it's like the canon events in the Spider-Verse movies. There's a canon character.
Oh yeah, Uncle Ben is always destined to die. Doesn't matter where, it's just always.
Yes, and every dimension has a Caesar. So which then begs another question: was Caesar a furry in this universe?
Well, obviously not, because this was well before, for something to be an antique, it has to be really, really old. Like, the person who owned it is dead now. So, if it's true that the thing that we bought was in fact owned by Caesar, this would have been at least a few hundred years before or after Caesar.
Now comes the question: if Caesar was a furry, what kind of animal would he be?
What kind of animal likes grapes? Or olives?
Olives?
Yeah, like olive oil.
I don't know.
Well, there you go.
But I mean, better question, what kind of animal likes wine?
Surprisingly, a lot of animals, from what I've been told, they like the fermentation of fruit. And apparently our bargaining skills aren't very good because everyone's only giving me like a 1 or 2% discount instead of 10. Feels bad. Oh, and another thing that I guess kind of shows that this game might have been a bit rushed. It's actually surprisingly hard to make money in this game. The only place I can think of is through wild encounters. And even then, I think you can only get money from lizard men and leopard men. That's it.
I think, yeah. By the way, what I was saying before. Yeah, I think like during the Bronze Age, like in the Bronze Age for the Mediterranean nation civilizations, one of the only bronze, one of the only 10 mining locations they had was like in modern day Afghanistan. So imagine how much it had to travel just to arrive at the civilization, and like the Mediterranean, which was like basically like probably the most developed civilizations at the time.
Yeah, a good half a world travel.
Yeah. It's a pretty fascinating idea, like period of time, the Bronze Age. I would like to perhaps buy some, get some books on it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to, this whole time you're just trying to bargain with this guy?
No, I'm just talking to him, saying hi. Because your bargaining is based on your speech skill, and you can raise your speech skill by talking to people, so...
What did he sell?
He sold fish, which is basically this game's one of many versions of rations.
He slaps you in the face for that.
And if you are a thief, the rope seller is your thief contact, so to speak. So he's the one that you give the thief sign to, and he gives you like deals and stuff. But even then, there's nothing to steal in this game.
Look over there.
Alright, bargain. Come on. Yay! He accepted our offer. Huzzah. One rope. Yeah, because something that happened to me in this game was, in one of my playthroughs, I spent a bit too much money. And...
What the hell?
Yeah, Keep On Laughing gave us a gift, and because he's a jokester, it exploded. But he gave us a new spell that was written on the wrapping paper. So now we can use Juggling Lights. Which is a spell we only use once. I'm pretty sure in the entire game. Ever.
Have you ever heard of RuneQuest?
Sounds familiar.
It's an RPG that takes place in a world that simulates Bronze Age. In a world, yeah, and it's analogous to Earth's Bronze Age. Well, really, No, it's an annoying thing because like Bronze Age is different depending on the civilization you're talking about. Because for example, when we refer to Bronze Age, we're most often referring to the Mediterranean civilizations at the time, Mesopotamia and Mediterranean civilizations at the time, because they were probably the most developed ones. But then like the Bronze Age is a different era for countries like in Far East Asia, in Africa, in Northern Europe. So
let's see. Get the money. And one of the things we need to do is buy a carved leopard. But because we did the sort of side quest with him by giving him the letter from Shapir for his parents asking him how he's doing, he gives us the leopard for free. So huzzah. And here we are. We have Anubis, who is an extremely friendly meat merchant.
Have you played Sekiro?
I played a little bit of it, but unfortunately it was one of those games where it's you have to play it in a very specific way, and if you don't play it in that specific way, you just get trampled. And that specific way is to use deflecting attacks, and I am very bad at that with Dark Souls games.
So you're the one with the skill issue this time.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the stealthing mechanic in that game. It's just, unfortunately, getting into combat is a pain in the nuts.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if you familiar with the economy in that game.
Not really. I can't remember if it's like similar to Dark Souls, where it's like basically soul stuff, or if there actually is money.
Yeah, because I don't think they use the soul mechanics, right? At least I don't know. I don't know what's the how is the leveling in that game.
Yeah, and
if there is leveling.
The last time I played it was when it was brand new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like a dragon is 50% off.
Anyway, this guy is really easy to bargain with, because basically whatever you offer him, he's willing to sell you his meat at that price.
Slaps you in the face with the meat. Open your mouth, boy.
Unfortunately, this guy we can't buy anything from, because the game basically says he is a con artist and you have no reason to buy anything from him. And it's like, oh, thanks, game.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, what's the purpose of including a character in that game, like that in a game, if you can't be swindled by him?
Mm-hmm.
If you can't even if you can't even fall for it. No. That is so dumb.
Yeah, I think, yep, you look around at the stand at the various amulets of dubious quality and you decide to waste your money elsewhere. Feels bad. And we do need some cloth from this woman, so... specifically I think it's the robes that we need. And unfortunately, the bazaar that or the areas that we can travel in this city, it shows that it's massive, but basically we've been through the entirety of this town. There's the two bazaar areas, the northern area with the money changer, the sort of the temple area where the hotel is, and yeah, that's basically it. everywhere else is considered quote-unquote forbidden, because if we go that way, we're told that, yeah, the Liontars don't want us there. This is a very classist society. But, we basically got all the money, or not all the money, all the stuff that we need from the bazaar, so we don't really need to spend any more in this game, aside on the potion maker, who you're immediately gonna hate.
And the Prince of Shapir.
Yeah, that's what we ended up being at the end of the game. We became Prince of Shapir.
What's the deal with this guy?
He is a hippie.
Oh. Salim now. I'm also a Libra. I didn't ask.
Numerology is a science of numbers. The letters of my name add up to 8, which is a very well-rounded number. It's like, shut the fuck up.
It sells crystals too.
Yep. He's one of those hippies.
It's the kind of hippie that spends like it's the kind of hippie that spends 500 on a ticket to the Burning Man festival just to talk about, so he can talk to his friends about how much consumerism is bad.
Yeah. So one of the things that this game does not have is a direct way to heal your stamina. Like, you can't buy stamina potions or pills. However, there is a pool of peace that is in the jungle, and if you fill a water skin there with the water and drink it, then you will refill your stamina. So, a very indirect way, but there you go. Let's ask him about his weird dream. Oh, no, we're going for the potions. Oh no, Tarnia's doesn't have a recycling program for their bottles. And just like the previous two games, we need a Dispel potion, so...
I wonder if this guy was based in any personality of the time, because he does look very much like the kind of big city hipster.
Well, like I said, it was more of a hippie from like the 70s, right? So, and this game was made in the 90s, so...
Same difference.
Yeah, it's only 20 years apart.
It's only 20 years apart, separating the same breed of insufferable people.
Alright, so let's prod him about this dream. So basically, long story short, he keeps having this dream about dancing with a tree in the desert. And our last adventure, that was part of the main quest. We had to basically help out a tree. So there's a connection to be made. And this is one of those things where, because I didn't know about the whole... You use the talk function on yourself to basically tell things. I didn't realize that you could actually tell him about the tree woman that we ran into in the last game. Which is actually pretty important, because if you do tell him about that, he gives you Dispel potions for free. Also, the price of mana pills and everything in this game is ridiculous, because in the last game you could get 3 for whatever price. But in this game you can only buy 1 at a time. There we go, we made him super happy.
I thought he was gonna start dancing.
So, let's see. What else is there to do? Oh yeah, we're almost done with the day. Huzzah!
I just remembered I started talking about Big O earlier and never even got to the point why I mentioned Big O.
Yeah, it was about Batman robots.
No, it was the point. It was like we were talking about how annoying the music was at the time.
Oh.
And I remember that like Big O, since he was also very inspired by noir films, also had that noir soundtrack where like with a saxophone. The melancholic saxophone that plays in noir movies that I will not love anytime soon.
Yeah. And also, this woman is one of the few women that we can actually flirt with. Although, in this game, you also don't have to pay for room and board like in the last game, because it's been covered. The only thing we have to pay for is food. Yeah, let's see. And then we have our chest to throw random junk in. And let's see what else is there. Come on, me. Flirt with her already.
Let's get out of the room. Let's get busy, woman. Is that a ginger there?
No, I think that's supposed to be like a cowl or a hood or something. Although I'm surprised that you looked at that and not the fucking clown on the left there.
Yeah, because the ginger is more interesting. They are a dying breed, so. Oh, this woman sucks a lot.
Well, she runs the inn, so obviously she knows a lot. Like, oh my god, so much more shit.
It's odd that, like, I think I mentioned this before in other playthroughs, but it's odd that we don't see games nowadays trying to emulate this kind of setting.
Yeah.
Why?
Something, cultural appropriation, racism, something, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think the last attempt at it was Prince of Persia. But like, you'd think nowadays with how much open world RPGs are a thing, someone would try it.
Yeah. I think will Daggerfall count as well? Because that was where the Red Guards are from, right?
Yeah, well, Daggerfall is set in the Iliac Bay, so it's both like Hammerfell and High Rock.
But that is where the Red Guards are, and that they're Arabic, correct?
Yeah, Hammerfall, yes. Yeah, they're kind of like both Arabic and African.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, because they're very dark skinned, more like sub-Saharan African, but their culture seems to be very much inspired by Arabian, Middle Eastern and Arabian culture. So it's a
yeah, and as you can tell from this notice board, there are no quests. It is just advertisement. Feels bad.
And they live right next to the French.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, so something that the fan mod added into this is that we can actually lockpick the chest and up our lockpicking skill that way. In the base game, you cannot do this. Oh, we got plenty of stamina left. We can continue picking the lock. Never mind, we're out.
Yeah.
Alright, and just a few more picks, and we're exhausted. So, time to sleep. Huzzah. And with that, that will be the end of the video. So, I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you all next time. Have a nice night.
Bye-bye.